So here is a fun little idea that just involves a little bit of subtlety, and you have an excellent way of forcing a card. So for this, deck is shuffled and mixed up, and we're going to have the participant cut the deck into 3 piles. Now we're going to have them pick up whichever pile they want. Let's say they happen to pick up this one and hold it against their chest. Now you're going to instruct them to look at the bottom card and remember the card. Now you're going to have them place that on whichever pile they want, bury that, and even shuffle the deck. Now at this point, of course, you have forced that bottom card, so you could reveal it if you want, or anything that involves a force. Now, of course, if you could imagine, this is going to involve the use of different outs depending on the spectator's actions. Now, we're going to talk about different options where you could have multiple cards peeked, but for now, we're going to talk about the most basic concept here. So for this, we're going to need knowledge of the bottom card of the deck. This is very easily done by having a participant shuffle the deck, or if you want, you could just place that card in the bottom and proceed from here. Or if you're watching a participant shuffle, you could just peek at the bottom card, because most spectators aren't really going to hide the cards. So in the action of them shuffling, you could actually look at them and notice the bottom card of the deck. Now, if this doesn't work, then you could just simply shuffle the cards yourself and peek at the bottom card. In this case, I'm doing a riffle shuffle, riffling to this card over here, the 3 of hearts. I'm now breaking the deck at this point, allowing these cards to go off first, and then continuing the riffle shuffle there, which places that card in the bottom, and I know what it is. So at this point, we're going to have the participant cut the cards in however they want, but we're going to have them cut it into 3 piles. Now, there are a couple different things that could happen at this point. If the participants reach for this pile, great, that's it. You're going to have them hold it against their chest, you're going to have them look at the bottom card, and proceed as we did in the performance. This is the best case scenario. If they don't pick up this pile, then what you're going to do is you're going to have them pick up any pile they want and place it on top of any pile that they want. So in this case, if they place it here, it doesn't matter, because all we're going to do is have them place this pile on top of this pile, completing the actual stack and giving it somewhat of a cut. If they pick up any one of these and place it on top of that one, we're just going to have them place the remainder on top of that one. Now at this point, we're going to have them look at the bottom card to themselves and shuffle the deck. Of course, that is the original bottom card of the deck, and it hasn't changed, so it's technically a force. Now the good thing about this particular handling is that it doesn't really matter once you get the actual initial packet. So if the participant takes this packet, now everything could be completely eyes off. You could just have them go through the instructions with you looking the other way. If they grab any one of the piles, it's the exact same thing. You just mention to the participant they could place that pile on top of whichever one they want. If they put it there, that's fine. Tell them to take that packet and place it on that pile. You're directing them to place it on top of that pile. And of course, it's going to seem like they cut the cards, but really nothing happened. That card is the original bottom one of the deck. Now here, you could double your chances by having 2 force cards. So if you have a force card on the bottom and a force card on top, in this case we have the 6 of clubs on top and the 2 of clubs on the bottom, we could do the exact same procedure from here, have the participant pick up whichever pile they want. If they pick up this pile, we're going to proceed by having them place the pile against their chest and peek at the bottom card. Now, because we know what the bottom card is, we know what this card is. So we could have them place it on whichever pile they want. They can mix it. And of course, we know exactly what that card is. If they pick up this pile, great, because we could just have them peek at the top card to themselves, place any pile they want on top, shuffle the deck, and you're good to go, because you know what the original top card of the deck was. So here you're giving yourself 2 options to figure out which one they're going to pick. Now, of course, if they pick the middle one, you're going to proceed with the first method, where you're going to have them place it on whichever pile they want. Let's say they place it here. You go, great, take this pile and place it on top of that one, completing the cut. Do me a favor, take a peek at the bottom card, shuffle the deck, make sure it's thoroughly mixed. Can I turn around now? Great. Think of your card. Let's link up. Oh, I got it, 2 of clubs. And also, you might want to get that rash checked out. Now, a simple variation of this involves having 3 cards that you know on top of the deck. You could keep it on top of the deck in a number of ways. We've talked about this particular method where you have the cards face up on top of the deck to begin with, and you proceed from here. Now, at this point, you're going to hand the participant chunks of cards and have them mix it. When they're done mixing it, you're just going to take these cards back and place it underneath the stack in your hand. Now, what this does is that this places, in this case, this is a double back card, that doesn't count, but this places the stack to essentially be camouflaged by the stack they just shuffled. So now if we hand them another chunk of cards, have them mix it, and repeat this until we're left with just the face down cards in a deck, they've seemingly shuffled each and every single card in a deck, but really we've actually kept our little stack here on top. So now at this point, we could have them deal the cards in 3 piles. Now, once they deal the first 3, they could actually deal the cards however it is they want. They don't have to deal the cards in any particular way. They could deal them and then stop whenever it is that they like. Now, because we know what the bottom cards are, it really doesn't matter which pile they pick. So at this point, we could have them pick whichever pile they want and hold it against their chest. The moment we see them grab a pile, we're going to look away and say, I don't even want to look. Go ahead, look at the bottom card. Of course, we know that because they picked the middle pile, it's going to be this card in particular because we've memorized the cards. So at this point, they could place this on anywhere they want. They could shuffle it. And that way you have a very hands-off way of forcing any card that you want, or one of three, and having knowledge of what that card is. So that's just a simple variation of the actual cut principle that we talked about here. But again, what I love about this is that we're taking advantage of participants' lack of knowledge of playing cards. It reminds me of this wonderful JOC false cut where it seems like you're cutting the cards, and if you guide the participants through it, it's going to seem to them that they're cutting the cards, because we know that if we hold the cards in our hand and we put them on the table in this way, it's not really going to do much, especially if we collect them that way. As a matter of fact, this wonderful little principle, if you collect the cards backwards, it seems like you're putting it back as you found them. So this concept is very similar to that, but it's still a very effective and fun way of forcing either one card or one of three cards, as in the last method. So that's the lesson. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys for being members of the PigCake Card Academy, and I hope to see you on the next one.